Hello everybody and welcome to Saturday night here at the Online Darts Live League. It is the Week 4 finals as we have most of the United Kingdom covered here, as we have Scotland's Darren Beveridge going up against Suffolk's own Stephen Burton, who topped yesterday's Group B standings. He didn't top Group B overall, but after having a very good day yesterday where he only suffered one defeat, he could be a very good dark horse if you're having a little bit of a flutter tonight on this action. We welcome you if you are tuning in via the Online Darts
140
YouTube channel or via your favoured bookmaker's streaming site. We have the cream of the crop here this evening
100.
in Darren Beveridge, in Stephen Burton. We have Greg Ritchie, also of Scotland. We have Kevin Burness of Northern Ireland. And of course, the legend that is Wolfie Martin Adams, who's had a couple of days off since winning Group A.
100.
Steady beginning for both players here. So the name of the game tonight is the same as the rest of the week. Get as many points as you can, and if you're not defeated on the night, you will win.
140.
The person with the most points and the best leg difference ultimately will be the Week 4 champion, to try and put their name on the Roll of Honour with Scott Marsh, with Chaz Barstow, and of course last week's champion James Richardson.
123.
Very competent beginning here from Darren Beveridge, who knows about winning groups because he won Group C and topped the table on both Thursday and Friday on leg difference. Single 3 for double 8 to take the first leg against the throw, and that's exactly what he's done. A lot of people might think that Darren Beveridge is the favourite for tonight. Time will tell, but this is a very good start. Another thing about Darren is that he won't hang around. He plays a very watchable brand of darts. And he will be very much at ease with the pace that Stephen has, which is very similar to what he throws. If you don't know who I am Paul the Asset Nicholson, and I have got the hot seat for approximately another 3 hours until I hand it to Chris Mason again for Monday morning's action in Week 5.
140.
Make no mistake, tonight it's not just about the points. Leg difference will come into play when we try and separate players from
95.
different positions in the table. But if someone like Darren Beveridge wins all of their 4 matches, well, that's the end of that then.
83.
So that is the goal tonight. 4 games, win all 4, you are the champ. And Beveridge will stick around for next week. He will play on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday in the same group as 2 of the finalists.
138.
He will be in the group on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday with Burness, with Greg Ritchie,
145.
with Jamie Clark, who he played in Group C with, and of course Dave Parletti and Cameron Menzies. Tops for Beveridge. Double 10.
20.
And the chance has been squandered to get a 2-0 lead in no time at all. This is a big dart, double 9.
3.
Oh, that is a big dart. Just keeps a hold of Darren Beveridge and stops him from getting a lot of momentum at the start and just pegs him back. Stephen Burton is 1-all with Ice Cold. Good quality match so far.
140.
We haven't had a 180 yet, but I'm sure we're going to get plenty when these players are sufficiently warmed up. But I tell you what, the way this game has started, they're pretty warm to start with. The king of the 180s this week was Matthew Dennant, who didn't make it through Group A
140.
or indeed Group C. But he topped the 180 charts with 32. Nobody anywhere close to that.
180.
Next best player, as we see a 180 from Darren Beveridge. Well, it was a tie between Jamie Lewis
60.
and Sean McDonald, who got 21 each. As did Keelan Kay, as a matter of fact.
100.
This would be the highest finish of the week. Because currently, the biggest finish also belongs to Matthew Dennant of 160. May have to just scootle along the oche a little bit to find the angle, and I think he's found it. Oh, yes. A quality beginning. It's a 12 darter from Darren Beveridge to rediscover the lead at 2-1. He could well be and should be 3-0 up, but he won't squander a 2-1 if you give it to him, and that's exactly what he has. It was a very Scottish looking group on Thursday and Friday night. Only Matt Dennant
90.
in that group who was not from north of the border. Just the two Scottish players tonight in Greg Ritchie and Darren.
57.
Two English players and one Northern Irish. But a lot has been said about Darren in the last year or two. Someone who has won at challenge to a level in the PDC, of course. And will hopefully, for his sake, do it again when the challenge tour
100.
does come back later in 2021. Fabulous darts.
133.
Well, he got everything right until the last dart. I think he found the lie quite inviting, so stayed there. And by hitting the single, he's failed to leave a finish, but his darting crystal ball was working because he has been given 6 darts from there anyway. I'm puzzled as to why he didn't go for another 133 to leave tops. Even with that ton, Beveridge has got 6 from 76. The way they're finishing so far, you would fancy he's going to get it done in 6.
36.
He has to rely on the second visit. 2 points for a win, of course. No draws here. It's not like the Premier League darts. It's all about the wins. Get nothing if you lose. No draws. And he finds double top in 16 darts in that leg. It's 3-1 in this fast-paced game, and Stephen Burton is in early trouble against this very dangerous Scottish player. One of the statistics that Darren Beveridge has led coming into the finals is the overall average for a player. He's the only person
95.
who has played this week who has averaged over 90 for all of his games. 90.56
60.
with a PB of 96.97. Everybody else is south of the 90 mark.
97.
So that must tell you something as to what he's capable of. Only played 8 games, of course. Wasn't the same campaign for everybody this week. Darren and Greg Ritchie played 8 games. Martin Adams played 15 because he played 3 days. And Stephen, alongside Kevin Burness, they played 10 because they were involved in a 6-player group on Thursday and Friday morning.
60.
I mentioned that leg difference may come into play. Well, if Darren does get a 4-1 victory here, it's an ideal start, isn't it?
40.
But that's not an ideal visit.
130.
That's a really good visit. The 25 was the aim, but tell you what, the bullseye just gives him a bit of a bonus. Can Darren get a shot at that bullseye?
63.
He cannot. So it's up to Bertie to hit tops
31.
and misses tens as well to offer Darren his first realistic chance of finishing this contest. Wants to go 15 bull now. Bullseye for the match.
Close.
That's a good leave. But he wasn't able to find the bullseye
In 1.
again. As Stephen Burton does find double 10 and narrows the gap to 1. His ability to stick in there is very, very good. He's very hard to get rid of, Stephen Burton. And he's not out of this by any means. 96 average for Darren. 84 for Stephen.
100.
Darren from the Edinburgh region of Scotland. And Stephen from the lovely town of Ipswich,
135.
a county of Suffolk that has bred some fabulous dart players over the years.
140.
And Ice Cold is going to be very hard to beat tonight. I'm particularly looking forward to his last match of the night, which is the last match of the finals. It's against Wolfie Adams. I suppose the question is, will that game
140.
be for the win this week? And Bertie fails to leave a finish. You sense that maybe the writing is on the wall as Darren looks to find the 121 in 6 darts.
85.
That'll do. Double 18 when he returns for a very, very good start to his finals campaign.
95.
In his first crack at the Online Darts Live League to take the early advantage in the table. Good switch.
Give it to.
Excellent switch. 4-2 to Darren Beveridge. He's going to have a bit of a smile about that one because he didn't mean to get the 4, but it was a handy miss because he went down to the southwest corner and got himself a 2-leg cushion in the end and getting his first 2 points of the night. His countryman Greg Ritchie will come to the oche now and he's taking on Kevin Burness of Northern Ireland who topped Group B. Welcome back to Saturday night action here at the Online Darts Live League Finals for Week 4. And this time we have Kevin Burness against this little package of brilliance. Someone who I had heard of before the start of the week, but had not seen in action yet. I know a lot about him now, and I'm very impressed. Kevin Burness is someone I know plenty of, as we've talked about the last couple of days. But in his first attempt in the Online Darts Live League, he has found his way to the finals after topping Group B. Been a very decent week here for Kevin, who has won 80% of his matches. Played 10, won 8, and of course lost only the 2. But this guy right here,
85.
played 8, won 5, came through Group C in second spot behind Darren Beveridge, but has had some eye-popping displays. Not from an average perspective, but from a doubling perspective. Not once, but twice he has had a match where he has not missed a single double. The only person to do that this week. But there was one other guy who got a 100% checkout percentage, and that was Keelan Kay a few days ago. And he did the perfect game on tops, where he got it 4 times out of 4.
45.
But Greg Ritchie yesterday, when he was 100% on doubles in a match, took out two ton plus finishes as well. A 110 and a 140.
140.
What will we get from these two tonight? Well, the early evidence is that Kevin Burness wants to maybe go under the radar, because people will fancy the likes of Wolfie, Beveridge, possibly Greg. Don't underestimate this guy.
57.
Don't forget about Stephen Burton. He could respond well after losing his first encounter.
60.
Double 8 for the first leg.
8 and 2.
And that is a really fine finish from Kevin Burness. It's a 14 darter, it breaks the throw, and it's a really good early settler and a really good confidence booster as he goes into leg 2 with the lead. Throughout the week, his doubles percentage has been fine. Of his 10 matches, he had a 32% checkout rate. Like I say, that's fine. But compared to everybody else, that's the lowest.
57.
So maybe he has got something in mind as to how he can possibly win this group tonight by getting better on the outer ring.
180.
Well, that is the 180th 180 of the week. And it comes from Iron Man.
44.
Looking to start with a bang here. He's got Greg Ritchie where he wants him early.
100.
Well, that is a fabulous ton. But we'll watch out for his approach shots a little bit later in the match, because the single would have left a bogey number.
140.
Maybe he was going for the 60 just because Greg was so far behind. It paid off, but you don't want to do that if your opponent's on something else. Oh, he went for it as well.
1 more.
I don't know about you guys watching on, but I think maybe Kevin Burness is in an aggressive mood tonight. If he finds a shot, he's just going to go for it. Best average of the week from Kevin has been just over 93.5. This is a little bit better than that so far. Oh, that is a bad dart though. And he's thrown excellently to this point, but that was a bad shot. That's made things a little tricky.
180.
He's going to have to hit it now because that maximum sets up double 10. Double 2.
Game in 3.
Oh, really fine dart. And just palms off Greg Ritchie in leg 2 there. There was potential for Greg if that was missed. But fair play to Iron Man. He was up to it and he's taken a 2-0 lead. Yes, everybody's probably thinking that Wolfie's going to win tonight, or possibly Darren Beveridge.
140.
They will be the two favourites. Of that, there is no doubt. It's not just about one game, this format. It's about what you do over your 4 matches. And we will see Martin Adams in the next match for his first game of the evening.
93.
Greg's going to have to start scoring a bit heavier here.
100.
By no means has he played poorly. He's averaged 92 in this match. But all of the better timed shots have come from Kevin.
98.
I can't even tell you how intelligent that was from Greg Ritchie, going 18s first on 268 and then using the 25 to get to the finish. That was board intelligence. The counting from his previous visit makes me think he works for the BIA, the Board Intelligence Agency. It was that good. Double top, double top. Oh, everybody's feeling a bit frisky tonight, aren't they? They're not going for the right numbers on approach shots. We're seeing 2 double tops with 2 darts. This is really good stuff. 2-1 to Kevin Burness. Somewhat Gary Anderson-esque 80-2. See, this is what you get on Saturday night. Reminds me of that old Bay City Roller song, doesn't it? S-C-T-U-D-A-Y. On Saturday night. And of course, Scottish band, the Bay City Rollers, aren't they? So maybe it's going to be Scotland's night. Might be Northern Ireland's night, if Kevin has his way. Of course, the weekly winners so far have all come from England.
125.
If we were playing the Online Darts Live League and there was no COVID-19 pandemic, I'm sure we would have got players from other countries, but we're limited as to who we can have playing so far. So we have to keep it fairly local. Maybe if you want to get in touch with me tonight, we've had a subject the last couple of nights to chat about. Last night was about the best possible 4-man Scottish team. Lots of great tweets. But maybe tonight, get in touch and just let us know if you could put anybody in the Online Darts Live League. Who would it be? At the Asset180 on Twitter. Who would you want to see in the finals on Saturday?
55.
Greg Ritchie yesterday hit this checkout on double 10. He's left 80, so don't leave him on that, Kevin. You've just seen him hit it. Double top, just the one.
6.
I tell you what, how close were they? Is he going to do the same again? Now he's got to find the left side of the bed. He's out of camera shot. I had to throw that so hard. He was probably throwing it from close to 8 feet. Double 10.
again.
And it is 3-1 to Kevin Burness.
Sorry,
I said earlier that he hasn't got the greatest checkout percentage of everybody, but he's just doing enough a lot of the time, and he's doing it once more in this one. Average compared to Greg's, incredibly similar, 89. His doubles percentage is about half of that of Greg's. This is a James Wade style performance. He's doing just enough. It's what I like to call a finger of fudge performance. Just enough. If you don't know what I'm talking about because you're from overseas and you haven't seen the commercial for that particular brand of chocolate, they say a finger of fudge is just enough to give yourself a treat. That's how my brain works. When you say the words just enough, I think of chocolate.
100.
Kevin Burness right now is thinking of glory and 2 points to join Darren Beveridge.
177.
And that is a brilliant 177. But yet again, a questionable last start tactic, because the single number would have left a bogey finish. Twice he's gambled, twice he is hit, and he's forced the wee man from South East Scotland to hit a maximum checkout to stay in the match. And it's looking like Burness is going to get
56.
an early upset here. Wire bender. And again. But in the corner, he does just enough. And he equalises. Well, he doesn't equalise. He actually does better than Darren Beveridge because he's won 4 legs to 1. So he goes top of the table for now. A really, really good start to his campaign. Greg Ritchie has stuff to mull. But Martin Adams comes into the fold now. And let's find out what he can do. The Group A winner. Welcome back to Saturday night's action, and it's time to see Wolfie for the first time in 3 days. We saw him for 3 days earlier in the week, the 64-year-old from Deeping St James in Cambridgeshire. The former England captain topped Group A. After 15 matches played, he won 11 of them and tasted defeat the majority of the time on Monday, where he was defeated 3 times, and on Tuesday and Wednesday only the once. He put together a fabulous streak of wins between Tuesday morning and Wednesday afternoon of 9 consecutive matches. If he can be undefeated tonight, he will be the champion of the week and keep the streak alive of English weekly winners. Good start from Wolfie as he goes up against someone who doesn't live that far away from him. But with only 4 matches per player tonight, Stephen Burton has to get a bit of a shifty on. Because with a defeat to Darren Beveridge, if he does want to find the top spot tonight, he will probably have to win. In fact, I know he's going to have to win everything from here, unless we have a crazy, crazy evening. I've already mentioned the Bay City Rollers tonight. I've almost just mentioned Kiss as well. Well, you never know, it could be a crazy, crazy night. I was asking the Twitter sphere about who they would like to see in the Online Darts Live League over the coming weeks. We've already released the field for next week and who's coming in. We have some players returning, the likes of Ritchie, Burness, Barry Bates, Conan Whitehead, Dave Pauletti's coming back, as well as some of the people that you're seeing tonight. But Cameron Menzies will be playing between Monday and Wednesday, and I suggest you don't miss that, because he's not exactly boring, is he? 57 and that bullseye for Martin would have taken leg 1. And he's left himself handily placed with Stephen on one of the biggest checkouts possible. 2 16s for the first leg. Double 8 now. And a few squandered chances. Stephen Burton could steal here. And the chance is missed to offer Martin another chance at double 8, which he takes. 19 dart start for Martin. It could have been a little bit better, but he won't care about that now. He's able to forget the bad legs and remember the good legs. And I get the feeling this is a nice foundation for a possible win here in his first game. Stephen Burton will not want that, because if he does lose to Wolfie, that might be the end of his chances already. That's the thing about the finals, it's quick fire stuff. It's the same format as Group C, playing at night, and only playing 4 matches instead of 5. Martin, of course, is making his second appearance in an Online Darts Live League finals. The first player to do so in 2021. In week 1, he was the runner-up to Scott Marsh. And on that evening, the thing that separated Martin from Scott was leg difference. So what I was saying earlier in the night about leg difference being a factor, it will come into play. Had someone get in touch asking how players are included in this. Well, of course, the players are allowed to play because they do not have a PDC Tour card. It's all about scheduling who can play and who is eligible. We try and get the best players possible who are outside of the world's elite. Which is one of the reasons why we asked Martin and someone like Stephen. Because they are proven winners. Martin, of course, has won a stack of titles in his career. Stephen, a Challenge Tour veteran who has played a lot of Professional Darts Corporation events at the top, and it's a 160 out for Stephen Burton. He had a cracker one earlier and missed it on dart 1, but that one was perfect, and that equalises the best finish of the week so far. Will we get something better than that, you wish? Keep wishing, because I want to see more. Even Martin enjoyed that one. Matthew Dennett got a 160 last night. Stephen Burton has just equalised him. For me this week, it's not been about massive averages. It's been about some of the performances on the outer ring. 3 performances where a player has not missed a double and won the match. With 4 hits from 4. Can we possibly see that again? I wouldn't be shocked to see it. You never know, Stephen Burton could do it in this match. That was, of course, his first attempt at a double and his first hit. It might take something like that to defeat Martin, because he has been the most explosive player this week. Maybe with the exception of Greg Ritchie, who has had some really big standout doubles performances. But from an average perspective, Martin has had the 2 best averages of the week. A 104.79 being the best, and also a 102. $118 away from getting the lead back, and to be at the halfway point to victory. It will be double top. And misses it by the very narrow margin. But he does have, very similarly, like leg 1, have that extra visit. 130 will be appealing for Stephen if he gets a shot. It's a lot easier than 160. But he doesn't get a shot, and Wolfie finds the bottom corner, donning his blue and darker blue, maybe black, Cancer shirt tonight. He's been wearing those for charity all week long. An absolutely brilliant ambassador for the game and for cancer charities. When he came through on Wednesday through Group A, he was wearing a beautiful white and green Macmillan support shirt for that cancer charity. What he does to represent those charities is quite incredible. And over the last few seasons, he has played the game of darts with a level of relaxation. Just knowing that darts is just a match, and another match, and another match. There are things happening in the world which are way more stressful than darts. I suppose that's something that Jamie Lewis is considering now he's been eliminated from week 4. Not happy to hear that he has decided to walk away from social media for a while because of some people out there who decided to send him nasty messages. Well, shame on all of you. I can't stress that enough. This is a terrific response from Bertie. Adams might leave himself on that 118 again. He double dips on the old 60 there and leaves something better. Is it a ton plus out again? On the throw. Oh, it wasn't far away. But this is a great chance for Martin to get a two-leg cushion. To keep pace with Kevin Burness and Darren Beveridge. Because they got very convincing wins. And that is the biggest start of the match so far. The 78 is converted. And he will now have the opportunity to win this one 4-1. To equalise at the top of the table Kevin Burness on 2 points and +3 in leg difference. If you start the match by throwing in leg 1 and you get a break towards the end and you've always held your throw, the result can look flattering. But Martin has been
92.
marginally the better player in this one. He's had more shots at double, he's got the better average. But there's a lot more in the locker for Martin. He's only averaging 89. He can average 20 more than this. Maybe more. Lots of suggestions from people as to who they would like to see playing in the live league.
84.
I've had Gary Stone mentioned by Graham Cummings. Says, no Stoney, no party. Is that a saying? Tim's said Cameron Menzies. Well, he won't have to wait too long for that. Roughly 48 hours. Actually, more like 36 hours time. He'll be here on Monday morning.
180.
Bertie finds a maximum
Shot.
to get himself 2 darts in front here.
Good three.
Ryan Butler's been in touch saying, can I nominate my nephew Lewis Coates? I think I've heard of Lewis. And Fraser, one of our regulars who tunes in, has said Dean Winstanley.
65.
Not out of the question, that one. Haven't seen Dean play in a while. There's no doubting how good Dean Winstanley is. Martin, of course, beat Dean Winstanley in a Lakeside final.
100.
I think you've got to hit this, Stephen.
Aiming 2.
I should keep saying that for him, shouldn't I? Because if I keep saying I think he should hit this, and he keeps hitting, he could win this match from behind. It was 3-1, it's now 3-2, and he hasn't given Martin Adams a match start yet. Breaks back immediately. Elevates his average above that of Martin's all of a sudden.
45.
And of everybody who has played this week, these two enunciate their scores better than anyone. You'll get a sung score here.
85.
Even just 85 gets a lovely melodic 85. The way that Stephen says his scores. There's no doubting what he's saying.
99.
I think Bertie should look into some voiceover work. He's got a voice that carries. I would say he'd make a great commentator, but I don't want him to take my job. He's too busy playing darts.
100.
$99.
It will be the all-Scottish battle next between Beveridge and Ritchie. And with Greg losing his first match, he will have to go 2-1 up in their weekly head-to-head to keep his challenge alive.
40.
What situation will we be faced with when they tow the hockey.
100.
We're guaranteed to have 3 players on 2 points. But who's going to have them? This will be a great time for a maximum.
140.
Well, this is the first chance that Martin has to finish the match. He was stuck on 127 when Stephen took out 80 in the last leg. And he's not going to get a match dart again. To the credit
87.
of Stephen Burton. Double 16.
In one.
And he's found it without any hesitation. We are going to the wire for the first time tonight. Stephen Burton is 1 leg away from his first win. And he's won the last 2 legs. So does he have the momentum? He doesn't have the darts though. He has broken Martin in this match. He's going to have to do it again. Otherwise, his campaign will have no points
100.
from 2 matches.
$180.
That is the way to do it. Your opponent with the dart starts with a very good ton. And you answer with the very best score you can get on the dartboard. Advantage Burton.
43.
He's got the lead, the momentum, the darts. The situation couldn't be any rosier.
96.
Martin lost his last match that he played on Wednesday against Sean McDonald. But he'd already won the group by then.
100.
He may be about to lose 2 games in a row.
$58.
Intelligently, he does leave the finish. Martin needs to be crafty here to get himself on a finish. He's going to get there.
100.
This is a very, very tight contest. It may come down to mistakes or a piece of brilliance.
139.
And that is rather brilliant. Could Adams steal it away? And at 3-1 up, he has not been afforded
93.
1 dart for the match from Stephen Burton. That's the tail of the tape. And Stephen has wired double 14 twice out of 3 darts. And he has now given Martin a match dart.
Game in 1.
And he only requires the 1. When he eventually got one, he took it in what was a very, very good tussle. 4-3 to Martin Adams, and he starts with a win. Stephen Burton has started with 2 defeats, unfortunately. But let's go north of the border on Saturday night. 2 Scottish players head-to-head. 3 matches down in our 10-game schedule for tonight's Online Darts Live League finals. We now go north of the border. We've seen these two go head-to-head the last couple of nights, and they've won 1 match each. So this will be the decider in week 4. Could be key as well, because we've just seen Stephen Burton lose his second match alongside the match he lost against this man, ice-cold Darren Beveridge. Will we see genuine separation between the players winning their first match and the people losing their first match? Or will there be a fight back from the people who did lose their first game? Big match for Greg Ritchie here. If he goes the same way as Stephen Burton, then we will have people kicking towards the finish line as we get towards the halfway point.
40.
Good sportsmanship there from Greg, who acknowledged that the point was not touching the sisal,
100.
and he did not score another 18 points. But when they played their first game of the week,
125.
that was won by Greg Ritchie by 4 legs to 3. But last night, Ice Cold got his revenge
140.
and won 4 legs to 0. And that was key in him winning yesterday's table. I think it's very fair to say that these two in Group C were definitively the best 2 players over the last 2 nights.
180.
And Darren Beveridge came here with a reputation. And that reputation is being bolstered with some very, very good throwing.
98.
Double 16 for an opening 13 dart salver.
Given 2.
Omega 14, and that's not too shabby. He's looking to potentially get another 4-0 here, which would really bolster his chances of winning tonight's title. 1-0 so far for Ice Cold Beveridge. He does have a fair few dart shirts as well. He's one of those players who has a design and has it in a minimum of 3 colours. Because on Thursday he was wearing a light grey shirt. Yesterday was a lot darker.
100.
Black and a little shade of silver in it. This one looks a bit colder.
$140.
And Greg Ritchie's got a dart shirt. Probably a few of them. What was the same colour? White is the main colour with a little bit of tartan on the sleeves and the collar. I like it a lot. I think it's a great shirt. The problem for him though is that he's in genuine trouble early in this match because the first dart of Darren has been that good,
180.
and he is able to maximise his visits really, really well. And too often,
40.
not just tonight, but on a couple of occasions yesterday, he had a few darts on the floor, and he might be punished. And he saw there just a little flick of the eyes up towards the tops, but he didn't go for tops there. He went for the 220s just to line things up after 12 darts again. Doesn't seem to be happening for Greg yet this evening, but it is definitely happening for this man.
Given 2.
Second consecutive 14 darter, and he maintains a 107 average as he gets to the halfway point in quick, smart fashion. Scotland has great talent coming through, but this one might be at the lead of the pack. Not only will you get to see Darren's charge to the title tonight, but you will see him have another crack next week. He will be in the same group as Greg, and his buddy Jamie Clark, who played in Group C as well. He'll be joined by Kevin Burness, who is also here tonight. Dave Pauletti will come back. And then we'll just throw a small matter of Cameron Menzies in there.
100.
I've had Andy McCardle get in touch, who has been watching all week. And he said, as an ambassador for the Scotland Disability Darts team, I would like to see Rab Sutherland play in the Online Darts League. Scotland host this year the first ever Disability Darts World Cup. Well, everybody who's involved in that, any players who are watching and going to that, all the very best. Really good to see that Disability Darts has now got its own World Cup.
$135.
And Nicky Ashman's got in touch as well, asking if they've missed who's playing next week. Well, I've talked about Group A. Group B will involve
140.
Barry Bates, Conan Whitehead and Mike Gillett. Darren Beveridge, who will be in Group A next week, is looking again to
99.
set things up. This time after 15, but he's looking way too good for Greg in this one. We'll have Ritchie Burnett, Alan Norris and Nathan Gervin on Thursday and Friday night next week. That's a particularly tasty group.
Human 2.
And he seems to get the double on the second dart every time, so he gets a measure and then he's able to adjust after that. The average comes down a little bit, but not that much. And he's still in three figures with a 3-0 lead. Yeah, Scotland will be very heavily represented next week, with Darren, with Greg, with Jamie Clark, with Cameron Menzies, and of course Nathan Gervin, who I am very, very excited to watch. If you haven't seen him play yet, I suggest you tune in next week.
135.
He's played in 2 World Youth Championship finals in the BDO and lost to Justin Van ter Houw and Leighton Bennett.
$100.
Just a very, very tidy, accomplished performance here from Darren.
58.
Who had thrown 45 darts for his first 3 legs, which is right on the 100 average mark.
137.
And he's doing a great job in leg 4 to try and elevate that average even further. 50% on doubles as well. It's no wonder he had a reputation coming into this. Well, there's a 164 on the approach from Greg, but even that might not be enough. Because 72 with 2.
89.
And for the 3rd leg out of 4, he has left a double after 12. Destructive stuff. And no matter what Greg has done,
62.
it just hasn't measured up. And he's looking to bagel Greg for the 2nd night in a row. But doesn't. Not yet. First time he has missed a double at a visit. Another double-double. He's done it earlier. And he's done it again. He's very entertaining, is Greg Ritchie. If you haven't been tuning in the last couple of nights, he's been the king of the doubles. And already tonight, even though he hasn't won a match yet, he has been double-doubling on the double. Against Burness, he only got 1 leg.
97.
And he did that. At tops on 80. Is it going to happen again?
85.
Greg Ritchie, of course, who wasn't able to play at Q School because of a positive test for COVID-19.
41.
I don't know the rules surrounding it. I'm sure there are people out there who do. Maybe it's one of the things that I should know, but because he did not play at Q School, I don't know whether he has the right to play in the Challenge Tour simply because he was told to leave because of COVID. I don't know whether you have to play at Q School to get into the Challenge Tour or whether, because it wasn't his fault, whether he would be given special dispensation to play in the Challenge Tour later in the year. I sincerely hope for his sake he can play the Challenge Tour because he's a very good player.
140.
But as far as the scoring is concerned, Ice Cold has been on another level in this match.
100.
124 to finish the job, 4 legs to 1. That one was a bit too far north.
56.
And Greg is not going to stop him
90.
from getting a shot at the 68. It's up to Darren to get a 4th or possibly 5th match dart. It is a 4th,
52.
and it's a 4th miss. Greg's inching his way into this. He's relying on mistakes from Darren, but they're coming.
Even two.
Double 10s there. And Greg is starting to get something in this match. Darren's just twitching a little bit on the match darts. And you wonder if Greg is finding a way to get through this one. He's throwing now to be 3-3. This is the entertaining side of watching this kind of match. Because you think Darren Beveridge has done everything right. He's outscored Greg. He's out-doubled him.
125.
He's done everything better than Greg apart from one thing. Hasn't hit the final double. Greg hasn't even got there yet.
57.
But we saw in the last match that Stephen Burton wasn't able to convert his match darts and Martin could.
60.
Is that going to happen again? It will be Kevin Burness and Martin Adams next, both of which have 2 points in the bank. And if Beveridge can convert this game, they will be looking to equalise his score as he gets his 3rd maximum of the match. A fabulous visit to leave 1-3-2. Keeps him in the leg, but he's lost the dart.
96.
And for so many times in this match, Beveridge has left a double after 12. I make that the 4th occasion in 5 legs.
35.
He gets another 3 match darts. He's had 4. Double 5.
Human 3.
And he's done it. Lucky for some, number 7. He eventually does get the win by 4 legs to 2. And he is atop the table perfectly on 4 points. It's up to everybody to catch him now. And 2 of those players are Burness and Adams. And they will go face to face next. As we approach the halfway point of tonight's action, in game number 5, we have a strip clash. Both wearing the same shade of blue. But this is a very important game to see who can keep pace with Darren Beveridge. He is the undefeated player on 4 points. But these two will be looking to do the same. It was Burness who topped the table after everybody had played one match because of a superior leg difference. And if he wins this match by more than 4 legs to 3 against Wolfie, he will return to the top of the table. And could be in for a close evening if Burness, Adams and Beveridge
60.
start to create separation between themselves and Burton and Ritchie, who have lost their first 2 matches of the night. So you feel that their challenge is done.
$140.
You look down the list of the matches and you think, where are the key matches left? Well, this is one of them.
60.
Stephen Burton will take on Greg Ritchie next. And one of them will get their first 2 points. Then it's Darren Beveridge against Kevin Burness after that. The importance of that will be evident once we know the result of this game. But you look at Martin Adams versus Darren Beveridge in match number 10. Could that possibly be
140.
a head-to-head for tonight's win? Only time will tell. And we will crown a champion around 12:15 in the morning to 12:20. Thank you for joining us on the Online Darts YouTube channel or via your streamed facility on your favoured bookmaker site.
23.
We really do value your company. We know it's late, but you night owls out there on Saturday night, you love your darts, don't you? What would you do without it? Well, tomorrow, you're going to have to do without darts for 24 hours before we return on Monday.
36.
Everybody needs a break from darts, albeit for just a day. So you can spend some time with your family.
Game in 3.
Maybe hone your own skills, because Kevin Burness is honing there, taking a 118 checkout, and he takes an early lead at 1-0. That's a very, very fine piece of finishing from the Northern Irishman. Martin didn't do a great deal wrong in that first leg.
95.
I compared Kevin to a finger of fudge, a very famous chocolate bar here in the UK. He's been doing just enough this week. Well, again, he does enough in leg 1. Keeps winning tonight, and he'll be the first non-English winner of a weekly phase. Hard to believe that we are coming to the climax of week 4 here. Chris Mason will return on Monday morning to guide you through groups A, B and C next week.
60.
And I'll take a bit of a break, but I will return for the first 3 days of week 6.
$55.
Kevin's got to stay in the lipstick if he's going to trouble the position of Martin, because Martin has been so accurate on the treble 20 for the last few competitive days. He had his worst day of the Online Darts Live League on Monday, only picking up 4 points. But then he picked up 10 on Tuesday. The only person this week to pick up 10 in a day.
34.
In fact, he was, looking at the statistics, the only person to have a perfect day this week.
105.
Winner of Monday, Keelan K. He got 4 wins from 5. Kevin's looking to get another ton plus checkout. Oh,
67.
that wire moved. Martin will be hoping that he doesn't need to move the wire. Looking for a central tops. But he moves the wire as well.
Game in
But
3.
vitally, he gets another dart at it. And he does equalise at 1-1. That's just the difference between the two in that leg. Martin managed to get 2 shots at a double, whereas Kevin only got the 1. Yes, Wolfie got 8 points on Wednesday. He was perfect up until his last game where he lost to Sean McDonald of Scotland. And then it was 8 points on both days for Kevin when he played during the day on Thursday and Friday. And the qualifiers from Group C, none of those guys got a perfect day, so
140.
Martin was the only one to have the undefeated streak throughout the course of a daily campaign.
100.
These two are rattling on at a fair old pace, playing a very, very tidy game. 96 average for Burness, 100 for Adams.
121.
Martin, of course, the first person to grace 2 weekly finals. Week 1 and this one, week 4. We could potentially have that next week, of course, with Darren Beveridge in this final. Kevin Burness is sticking around. He could be in next week's finals. So could Greg Ritchie.
83.
140.
Really good 140 from Kevin there. Keeping the pressure on this 157 of Martin. He's holding his throw really well, is Kevin. So he's 50% on ton plus checkouts in this match so far.
99.
He's looking to elevate that to 67%. Single 10 or a 6 or a 2. This time it's double 16.
86.
And he's 33% on the ton plus checkouts. He's had a crack at 3 of them in 3 legs. Adams, very much like leg 2, gets 2 darts at tops. This time he goes underneath,
Game in
but
3.
is able to convert on the switch to double 10. Is he making his move here, Wolfie? I don't know what mood he's in, but Wolfie is in front at 2-1 and is the favourite from here. I've got somebody tuning in
140.
from Spain. Great to have Yogi with us. Thanks for tuning in, Yogi.
81.
He's giving me a shout out on Twitter. Well, thank you for that. Has been a long week, but a very enjoyable one at that. And one of our other regulars, Bob Croshaw, has got in touch. He is currently tuning in after watching the boxing tonight.
140.
Many congratulations to Conor Ben, who's had a fantastic evening and a very brief evening as well.
81.
I wouldn't blame you guys out there for double screening your sport this evening. There's been so much sport today. Football, horse racing with the Grand National where we had the first lady jockey winner. Fantastic that. The Masters golf, the boxing.
140.
You've got your darts on. Sport has
140.
been very flexible during the pandemic. We have evolved as a sport has darts. And we are very much still live as Martin goes for treble 14. Double 16 for a 12 darter and a 3-1 lead.
To 49.
Just starting to turn the screw a little bit here to inflict Kevin's first defeat of the night.
100.
He will be very close to that if he can find double 16 here. Double 8.
16.
Not to be. And Kevin is on another 3 darter here to protect his position. He needs double 16 himself. Oh, and he misses by the smallest of margins on the outside. Martin has been very fortunate to get this extra chance. He has been given extra chances in this match by Kevin, it has to be said. Middle?
Game in 3.
Oh, look at that. It's almost like you were predicting where he was going to go. If you were pointing your finger at the screen as if to say, he should go for that bit, when he went right between the posts, and he's 3-1 up against the Northern Irishman. Now, this game has been sneaky good. 93 average for Martin. Kevin Burness with a 95. But the doubles percentages are way down
100.
towards the 1 and 4 range. Around 25% because they have missed a few.
100.
It's been one of those games where there's been plenty of chances. It's conceivable, in a strange sort of way, because this is how dart players think, that Kevin could have won this 4-0,
40.
but he's 3-1 down. Reminds me of one of my favourite lines that I've ever heard from a player, which came from Ritchie Burnett, and I've probably said this before. In fact, I'm sure I have. He was playing somebody, best of 11, and he came off the board, and somebody asked him, "How did you get on, Ritchie?" He said, "I lost 6-3, bud.
55.
Should have won 9-0. Should have won 9-0 in a best of 11. That makes everybody laugh a little bit when they hear that story. One of the many legendary Ritchie Burnett stories. And there may be more of them when he plays on Thursday and Friday night, so do not miss that. Having Alan Norris and Ritchie Burnett in the same group. Fireworks.
140.
That is fiery, that 140. And he's going to get a look at the 66 to win 4 legs to 1.
60.
If he does win 4-1 and takes this 66, he will be level on points and leg difference with Darren Beveridge. 1 match dart
50.
has gone. Kevin's been hitting these this week. When people have had their chance, he comes back and takes them. It's just what he does. The amount of darts that I watch on a weekly basis now with Chris Mason, you start to develop patterns about what people are capable of. Iron Man is not out of this one. Speaking of the amount of games that we have had this week, it's time to raise the cricket bat for the week, because this is match 100.
60.
100.
Can't say you don't get enough darts entertainment from us here at the Online Darts Live League. We'll give you lots of matches, lots of different players, and lots of different possibilities.
60.
These are the best players of the week. And tonight there has been a somewhat edgy nature to some of the games because
140.
you can't mistake the fact that these players really want to be the champion at the end of it. Just to say to themselves when they go to sleep tonight, I was the number one this week. That'll be really good for their confidence and their future challenges.
85.
Well, Martin's not out of this leg. The possibility of a 4-2 win is still alive, but he might need something big here. Perfect first start. Under-pitched second. And a great adjustment on the third. Is this going to be a 136?
136.
You can't underestimate this guy. You just can't. It may take a 141 to take him out. He's not going to get a shot at the double 12. This is for a break of throw. And if he gets it, he will throw for the match.
Game in 2.
Really good 14 darter to break the throw of Wolfie, and we're going the distance in this match. Match number 5 of 10 is possibly the match of the night so far, and it's very important for the points table. You're standing at the back of the room, you're watching your opponent start with a 140, and you're thinking to yourself, I need a 12 darter now. 12 darters require lots of perfection.
140.
Lots of repeated perfection. That's what this game's all about. Repetition.
100.
So far, a very quality-ridden leg. But that's the kind of dart that Martin can capitalise on. He's got to throw this one really hard.
140.
There was a bit of a wry smile there from Kevin. As if to say, you really are good, aren't you?
180.
Well, he's not bad either, leaving 81 after 9 in this decider. What a leg. Well, Martin gets to the 121. But Burness has done really well to give himself this chance. Takes a bit more time over dart 2, and it does give him a shot at the bull. Oh, look how close it was. Can Martin get a shot at that bull himself? He should get one. Oh, he should! But doesn't. How much is that going to cost him by the end of the night? It does depend on Burness holding in this last leg with this 25 checkout, first and foremost.
Game in 3.
And it's there. 15 darter to finish the match. It was a brilliant contest in match number 5, but it's Kevin Burness that stays undefeated, and Wolfie has got his back against the wall now. He can't afford any more defeats if he stands a chance. Well, going into the next one, we'll take a break from the top of the table as Stephen Burton and Greg Ritchie look to get off the mark. Welcome back to the action. We're into match number 6 now. And we turn our attention to another England-Scotland battle here, with Stephen Burton playing his third of 4 games. Unfortunately for him and for Greg, they have failed to register a victory in their first 2 matches. So the best they can do is a 4-point tally tonight. But you fancy that Darren Beveridge and Kevin Burness, already on 4, will get at least 1 more victory from the next 2 games. So the pressure's off these guys, and maybe it tells. As Stephen Burton gets a 180 with his first 3 of the match.
57.
Definitively, the next match is the most important of the night. Beveridge against Burness, both at the top of the table on the same leg difference and the same points. They will create huge gaps between themselves
140.
and the rest of the field with another win. And judging by that last performance of Kevin Burness with a 96 average and 40% on doubles, does he go in as favourite against Darren Beveridge? Questionable.
84.
Because Beveridge's last performance was a 96 average as well. Burton looking for a 164? Possibly.
25 left.
3 very well delivered darts. Only just missed out on that biggest checkout of the week. We have our 160 already tonight from Stephen, which equals the best of the week. That's 20. 5 more required. And 5 more he gets. I suppose that's one way to get 25, isn't it? Get the 20 out of the way and then just take care of the 5 afterwards. He is a bit nomadic sometimes with his finishing, but that one is effective in the end. I think that's the first time I've ever categorised anybody's finishing as nomadic. I'll have to remember that one.
100.
I've been asked if I'm going to be tuning into WrestleMania tonight. Trust me, the week I've had, I'm going straight to bed after this.
120.
After we crown the champion, I'm going to be resting my eyes after doing 105 matches this week. I don't think you can blame me. I loved every one of them. I've got one of the best jobs in the world. I get to watch the sport that I love and call it in with the passion that I have for the sport.
42.
I hope that comes across. I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And if I'm not,
100.
that's what the mute button's for. You can still watch. On a day where people within darts have decided to walk away from social media
69.
for their own personal reasons, I implore people just to keep it nice. There's no reason to be nasty. Let's be nice to each other.
95.
Come on, Greg, cheer us all up with a 170. Not that we need cheering up, we're all full of beans watching this stuff. Stephen Burton looking for 86 more beans. 83 more. 32 more.
70.
Tell you what, if he'd hit that, he could have started his own book of finishing, considering the way he'd been hitting stuff so far. Great first start. Double top.
Game 3.
Can't say I'm surprised that he hit that because he has been butchering the ton plus outs this week. As far as doubling is concerned before the night began, he was the king of that statistic, hitting 46% of his doubles. The most ton plus finishes before this night began in the finals
139.
came from Sean MacDonald of Scotland. He had 10 ton plus outs. couple of them were very big. A 152 and a 154. Greg Ritchie had 7. And considering that Sean had played 15 more matches than Greg. What does that tell you about how Greg has played the last 2 nights? Yep,
180.
he's quite good. Both of them are playing brilliantly in this leg.
51.
Stephen Burton has a whole heap of facial expressions when he plays. He's a walking TikTok.
93.
You don't see a lot of darting TikToks, do you? Not that I would know, I'm not on TikTok.
59.
94 for Greg to take the lead. Options from here, maybe Bull. He does like a double-double, so why not go for the 54?
Game in 3.
It's just one double that he required at the end, and he's got it for a 2-1 lead. Rattling along in this game, liking each other's pace in this one, but it's Greg who's recovered after losing the first leg, taking the next 2. Do not believe that these two have met before.
140.
I couldn't find a record of them ever having a meeting. And if Stephen doesn't know a great deal about Greg,
100.
he knows a little bit more now, and he should know a bit more after the last couple of nights of action. Scottish Darts is in a pretty good place.
60.
The question was asked by myself as to where the next
140.
generation of dart players were coming from north of the border. Well, I think I've seen them this week, and we're going to see another one next week as well, in Nathan Gervin, as well as Cameron Menzies. Oh, look at that 180. Don't tell me this lad hasn't got skill, because what he's doing is magnetising those points together and putting 180s together that we could only dream of. Leaves it handy after 12. Missed this one early and he's missed it again.
99.
Greg Ritchie for a 3-1 lead against yesterday's Group B table topper, and he's found double 10 again. Very, very effective. As soon as he went behind, he's gone up another level, and he doesn't look like a player who is willing to go away from tonight's finals without points. A very, very good standard here
36.
from both players. They're both above the 100 average. It's been sneaky good. Sometimes you just know how good a game is, just by being embroiled in it. But this one has been sneaky good.
58.
And whoever wins it will join Martin Wolfie Adams on 2 points. But this is not about
59.
qualification for the finals. This is the finals. So if you're not going to get top spot, that's it. And we know that these two can't win the title tonight because someone's going to get to 6 points in the next game and they can't get there. So it's about league placement now. Cutthroat stuff on a Saturday night. Sounds a bit like a 12th century party, doesn't it? Cutthroat stuff on a Saturday night.
5.
This is brilliant.
180.
To get himself back in the leg, the maximum from 3-2-1 to leave a 1-4-1 after,
135.
and he's going to have to hit it. I'm not going to put it past him. I am now. Trying to sneak a 60 in to leave 36.
50.
Oh, and it deflects into the small 5. That leaves 25. He knows all about 25. But he's only got 2 darts for it.
24 left.
Could that be the last dart he throws in this match? Is he about to go 3 defeats from 3? Double.
26.
Didn't get the double 17 to leave tops.
In 2.
And Bertie finds double 12 to erase the deficit to 1. This one is a little bit closer now, but only when Greg Ritchie was unable to convert 74 in 2 darts. Can he convert the game in leg number 6? That is the question now. He has the throw. Averages come down towards 96 for the 2 of them. There have been some very similar performances to that all night long. Best we've seen so far was the first match of the night from Darren Beveridge, averaging 98.
140.
We've had a 96 again from Darren in match 2 against Greg Ritchie. And we've seen a 96 from Kevin Burness in beating Wolfie Adams.
180.
The 180s for Greg Ritchie, of which there have been 4 in this match, have been excellent. So if you've got him for most 180s in this match, you're sitting rather pretty. Remember, if you are having a wager on something this evening, please gamble responsibly.
59.
It is for 18s plus only. And please go to begambleaware.org for more information. But there's a 180 for Stephen Burton to get within 2 of that statistic. And because of that 180, we might get another leg in this contest. Double 14.
In 3.
Absolutely brilliant. 268 done in 5 scoring darts with one of them outside the board. That is ridiculously done. It's 3-3 and we're going to the wire. 7th leg coming up and Stephen Burton throws first.
$58.
On the whole, Greg Ritchie, you would say, has been maybe the better player, marginally. But both of these guys have been playing well tonight. They just haven't been winning. And you're going to get days like that. The funny thing about this game is it's all about pride and position in the table.
58.
What they do doesn't affect what Burness and Beveridge do in the next.
42.
Got to get on the scoring here. The problem for Greg is that he's had 4 180s in this match, but some of the scores in between the big ones have been a bit sketchy. And all of a sudden they're both being a bit sketchy, getting towards the end of this one.
22.
Stephen Burton took care of 268 points in 5 darts at the end of the last leg. In 6, in fact. 5 scoring darts. But he's left 3-1-6 after 12 in this leg.
125.
That's better. He's got company in that region though. Stretching his legs.
180.
And a 5th 180. That makes 7 for the match.
65.
And he gets a match dart. Possibly 3. He might look at splitting, but he's looking south.
Game in one.
And he finds it in one. Ruthless stuff from Greg Ritchie, who gets his first 2 points of the night. Stephen Burton, well out of the race for the top spot, of course, but now he has to rely on getting his only points in his last game of the night. Greg Ritchie has another one coming up later, but first, let's go to the top of the table. It is Burness against Beveridge to see who remains undefeated. Hello once again. It is game number 7 of the evening, and we have a very important encounter coming up here. These two gentlemen have had very successful evenings so far. The Scotsman, Darren Beveridge, against Kevin Burness. We'll see one player remain the only undefeated player of the night so far. One of them will get to 6 points and will be in charge of their own destiny when they play their final match of the night. After this, Darren Beveridge will have 1 match left against Martin Adams. Kevin Burness will have 1 match remaining against Stephen Burton. Win their 2 remaining games and they will be the week 4 winner. I think it's very fair to say
180.
that these two have been the best players tonight. And they're going head to head at a time of the night where they've got plenty of stuff under their belt, but surely some gas in the tank. So we could be in for the game of the night here. They're going to have to go some to improve on the 180 count we got in the last match, though. We had 7. When Stephen Burton got 2 and Greg Ritchie got 5.
60.
I've had Brad Ellis get in touch with me on social media just trying to clarify what I was saying about Greg Ritchie and his not being able to play at Q School, whether he can play in the Challenge Tour. I believe he's got the choice of either getting a refund for his qualifying school money or not getting the refund and being able to play the Challenge Tour. I don't know what he's chosen to do, so we'll try and find that out for you. But double 16 for a 1-3-1. And that would have started this contest with a big ton plus out on a 12 darter. Double 18.
80 months.
And that one just came out of the hand a little weaker than the previous 2. And Burness looking to get a first leg break and does on double 4. It's a 14 darter from the Northern Irishman. And again, he's doing enough. He's had to rely on a missed leg dart, but he takes full advantage of it. It's not going to be much of an opportunity for me to be speaking during these guys playing because they're rapid.
55.
Please feel free to get in touch on Twitter this evening if you have anything constructive to say. What is your chosen Saturday night online darts live league finals libation? If you've got to look up the word libation, it means drink, okay? It's 11:30 in the UK. What are you having? Are you having a cocoa before you go to bed? Are you having something stronger?
96.
Had someone get in touch saying they would like to see Ritchie George playing in this. Son of Bobby George, of course.
60.
I haven't seen Ritchie George play in a long time, if I'm being perfectly honest.
100.
He did, of course, make the semi-finals of Lakeside on debut.
81.
No pressure in that tournament when your dad's Bobby George, eh? Can't imagine that kind of pressure.
58.
The averages in the last few matches have been very impressive.
60.
Mostly hovering around that 96 range. So the mean average for everybody tonight has gone up. Of that, there is no doubt.
140.
The average for the whole week before the night began was 84.02, which is not a bad standard.
45.
Over the course of 95 matches, we of course are well over the 100 now. Single 16 for tops. Would have left tops, but he's missed the single number.
32 left.
And this would hurt if it goes. Just heard that little gasp. He sensed the opportunity,
60.
which has now been missed. Double 16.
Give him 2.
Double 8 is hit. And he breaks back. Darren Beveridge. It's a very, very important game. It's not over by any means if you lose this one, but it's so much easier if you do win it. Can we see Ice Cold going forward, or will it be Iron Man? I could see these two nicknames going head to head in something like Mortal Kombat, or Street Fighter, or Soul Calibur. That was a great fighting game. What was your favourite fighting game when you were growing up on a console?
55.
You can imagine an Iron Man on the left and an Ice Cold on the right hand side. In Mortal Kombat there was a character called Sub-Zero.
43.
If I do remember rightly, he could freeze you from a distance, then he'd punch you and shatter you into pieces.
180.
Well, that's an earth-shattering 180 there from Kevin Burness.
140.
The more I watch Ice Cold deliver those darts, the more impressed I am. It's such a beautiful delivery. Just watch, in his next visit, the way he extends his arm with a smooth nature,
44.
but there's plenty of punch in it as well. Look at this. Beautiful. That is as good as you will see anywhere on earth. Let's face it, I'm not going to argue with him. He's a lot stronger and a lot bigger than me. You won't catch me saying anything nasty about him. Not that I'd want to anyway. I'm a big fan of his. After watching him the last couple of nights, I think he's amazing. I think the future is bright and the future is ice cold. I don't think the second dart's in. So Darren Beveridge is getting a chance to go 2-1 ahead. Double 5.
5 left.
Chances missed. How fortunate is Kevin Burness getting here, because the 2 legs he has won in this contest now, he's had to rely on Darren Beveridge missing darts at doubles. So he is in front after 3, but he could easily be 3-0 down. Somebody check his pockets for rabbit's feet. It's nothing better than being a bit lucky. But what about being good and lucky? That's exactly what he is delivering tonight. Skill after fortune is how I like to put it.
140.
Burness has had 2 180s in this match so far. He's got more legs in the bank and he is shooting forward.
100.
I think maybe the treble 17 was the play with the last dart there. Neither of these two have had a perfect campaign this week in playing either Thursday or Friday. They have experienced loss
90.
on both days. One of them is about to experience that again. Can we see a 161? He may have needed it. And if Burness hits this, he's a big, big favourite to win this match. Tops.
Game in 3.
Big shot. Big, big shot, because Darren Beveridge approached the double, did a really good job from 161, but the thing he did wrong was not hitting it. Kevin Burness is 3-1 up, 1 more, and he will be on 6 points. crazy thing is that Kevin Burness topped Group B, but he did not top the daily table on either Thursday or Friday. I was looking at the statistics earlier, and I must have checked that 4 or 5 times because I couldn't quite believe it. But he was the most consistent in that group over the course of the 2 days. And that's what you've got to do. And then you've got to play your best stuff in finals. And that's what he's doing right here. He has played better than this tonight. He played better against Martin Adams. Well, this is still a very good display. And that's a perfect first start.
85.
The last start, however, was a bit thrutchy. And that's why he was shaking his wrist out a bit.
What is it?
Sometimes you can deliver a dart and it just doesn't feel right. That one felt alright. So did that. Got to go downstairs.
140.
Not sure I like that shot. I like the idea of taking the 9 off the end of it, but maybe that's got something to do with the fact that I like even numbers.
60.
Darren Beveridge's chances of winning tonight are hanging by a thread, because Burness is looking at a match start at tops.
59.
Not quite there, but he will be back. It's not just about the 2 points,
27.
but look at the leg difference possibility as well. Double 10. He has now missed 4 match darts. Darren Beveridge can stay alive here with 54. Is it his turn to be a little bit fortunate? Then good.
14.
Unfortunately not. And Burness has double 5 and gets the job done. 4 legs to 1. He is now only 1 win away from ensuring that he will go through this finals night undefeated. That will come up a little bit later, but we will have Greg Ritchie against Martin Adams first, and they can't win the title now because we have a possible winner coming up in the final 2 matches of the night. Without further ado, we go into match number 8. And this will be Greg Ritchie's final game of the week. But he won't have to wait long before he plays another. He will be back from Monday morning at 9:30 British time to play in Group A. So if you are a Greg Ritchie fan, you have been given a reason to tune in again next week. Martin Adams is not going to be this week's champion, which I'm sure a lot of people will growl about or snarl. 2 finals appearances and 2 unsuccessful campaigns. He can no longer catch Kevin Burness. unless he gets help from somebody else. If he wins this match and gets to 4 points, and let's face it, he does need a bit of a wide win.
140.
If Kevin Burness then wins against Stephen Burton, Martin can't catch him. It's completely out of his hands. But
57.
if Kevin Burness is beaten by Stephen Burton in match number 9 by a considerable margin, all of a sudden, both Martin Adams and Darren Beveridge will be given one last chance, but it is based on this game first. Greg has 2 points for his efforts tonight. It was a good win over Stephen Burton by 4 legs to 3 in a very good encounter where 7 180s were hit. 5 of which were hit by Greg.
140.
Had a few tweets come in from our regular fans on Twitter. Jimmy B180 said the standard of darts has been fantastic. Can you give a shout out to my pal Mark Rainey? There you go, Mark. Had no mixer for the Copperberg gin, so decided to use kiwi and lime old mout as a mixer. Fair play to you. Bullseye for Martin.
96.
And the big ask for Greg to take leg 1. No such luck.
97.
Did miss a few chances in his last match, and he's only just hit the single 9 there.
Going 3.
Finds the first leg, and this time he does convert it, but he will be possibly ruining some of the missed chances against Kevin Burness earlier. He's not out of it at all, but the chances are very thin. Phil Stewart has got in touch saying, how about Colin Lloyd, Mark Walsh, Mark Dudbridge in future? Not a bad shout, that. I would love to see Lloydie here.
140.
Mark Walsh. What a call that is. Talking about fighting games in the last match between Iron Man and Ice Cold. I forgot about Tekken. Somebody's reminding me of that. That was Amy. Thanks for that.
24.
A lot of people telling us of their drink of choice tonight as they watch the final stages.
100.
Whatever you are partaking in, please drink responsibly and, of course, gamble responsibly. Enjoy the action. As we take you into Sunday.
140.
I can guarantee you I know what I'm doing tomorrow night. I'm going to be partaking
134.
in a little treat, which I don't have very often, and I'm going to watch the golf and relax after a long week of calling in 105 darts matches for you guys, which I have thoroughly enjoyed.
43.
Advantage Greg Ritchie here. Might be 13 behind, but you'd much rather be in his position, especially when he's hit the 60.
127.
Well, that's what you do when you take care of the 67. You then take care of 60 more. It's looking like this one's going to be 1-all.
60.
Tops it is for Greg. He's been very good up there on the hole.
No.
But he has had a real shocker there, unfortunately. Splits the first two, then busts the score completely. That leaves 69. That leaves 12.
Game in
That
3.
leaves nout, as they say in Northumberland, and indeed in Newcastle as well, and up in Scotland. And Greg Ritchie is left on nout in legs as Wolfie gets a 2-0 lead in this one in his quest for a very big win. Now let's just say that Wolfie wins this game 4-0.
93.
He would get to 4 points and would be on +4 in leg difference. If he beats Darren Beveridge as well as Greg Ritchie, so does the Scottish double, and gets to 6 points,
100.
it will then, of course, depend on what Burness does against Burton. It's all up to Kevin. It's all in his corner. He wins. That's it.
35.
The last game will be Martin versus Darren for pride and for placement. But we know that the best that Greg can do is 4 points in defeating Martin here. Whatever happens
40.
in the result, his leg difference is going to be in the minus. But it has been a great first week. Watch out for him next week. If Chris Mason is watching on, getting information about Greg Ritchie, he is in for a treat next week watching this guy. Going to stay on the 60 here.
100.
Respectful from Greg in the background as well. He didn't want to move in the room whilst Martin was throwing there. That's a sign of a very respectful dart player, because you can hear everything in that room.
Oh, 92.
1-2-1 again for Martin, which he missed in leg 1. He missed it on the bull. This time he doesn't get a shot at it. And he veers into the 5. Double top.
65.
And Greg is starting to miss the doubles very regularly now. Oh, treble 13. Double 9.
Game in
Got a
3.
shot at the double. I tell you what, whether you agree or not on that treble 13 first dart or not, it does not matter, because the seasoned 64-year-old has just taken out that shot on double 9 and is 3-0 up. .48 darts for the first 3 legs. 60% on doubles. So 16 darts a leg.
60.
And a very, very tidy performance on the outer ring. Oh, how much Martin is ruining the misses he had against Burness. If he'd taken his chances, the destiny of tonight's finals would be in his hands.
60.
Might still get there. This result is helping. And Burness will be watching on. The pressure's fully on him next.
140.
Stephen Burton, his final opponent, is the kind of player who thrives when there's no pressure. He could easily go a bit bananas for 4 or 5 legs and cause a real upset.
100.
And Stephen Burton, remember, beat Kevin Burness yesterday to deny Kevin a perfect day.
51.
He might do it again. Greg's had lots of chances at a 170 in the last 3 nights. He's going to get another crack at it. We haven't had one all week.
140.
Go on, Greg, give it a stab. Have a wee crack. think I've been spending too much time with
134.
one of the Scottish members of our crew. 141 to finish the job. That's not going to happen. Greg has missed
125.
5 attempts at a double in this match. He gets 3 more.
Game in 2.
Takes it in 2, and he finally gets himself off the mark. But at 3-1, Martin Adams is still a heavy favourite to win this one. And there may be no road back for Greg Ritchie. It'll make him feel better that he's just broken Martin's throat.
55.
But he's going to have to do that again and hold twice. I talk about this scenario a lot in best of 11 darts, where it's 5 legs to 3. And you look at the capabilities and the possibilities from there. If it's a break, hold, break scenario, that's a lot harder than 2 holds and 1 break. Well, this essentially is the 5-3 scenario for Greg. He's got to hold, break, hold. It never helps when Martin starts with a maximum. And that is the first maximum of the match. Backed up well with a solid ton. Martin's averaging 98.5 in this match.
125.
It's the best he's played tonight. Is he timing his run to the tape to perfection? Well, it very much depends
60.
on the next match. He needs Burness to be defeated. And possibly by a margin.
100.
161. And ordinarily I would say you'd have 6 at this most of the time, but the way Greg's finished this week, I wouldn't put anything past him. Oh, great last dart. Really aggressive. No use of the 25 or the bullseye. And you sense that a match dart, if not darts, are about to happen. Double 8, and it's plural.
Game in 2.
Well, he doesn't need to.
Cheers, Greg.
That's a fine performance from Martin Adams to keep himself alive, but only just. But it is all down to game number 9. Can Kevin Burness have the perfect night to have the perfect week against Stephen Burton? And that's coming right up. This man right here is now throwing in his final match of the night against Stephen Burton to see if he can be the Week 4 champion. Any win by any margin will be enough to have the perfect night, and he will have timed it to perfection because, as well as he's played the last couple of days, picking up 8 points on Thursday and 8 points yesterday, if he gets 8 tonight, it will be without that single defeat that he's had the last couple of days, and he's looking to avenge a defeat from Stephen Burton yesterday, which cost him a perfect 10 points.
99.
But this is the big prize, to be the weekly winner. And it's completely up to him.
85.
If he doesn't do it, he can be caught. And he can be caught
96.
more likely by Martin Adams, who is 2 points behind him on +3 in leg difference. Darren Beveridge is also 2 points behind him, but he's on +1. So he needs more of a favour from Stephen Burton. He almost needs Stephen to win to 0.
180.
But Kevin's having note of that as they go back to back on the 180s.
100.
126 requires 4 19s and bull. There's the 4 19s.
101.
Doesn't quite get the bull. 126 is so much easier than 136.
100.
You can have a miss on a 126. You can't have one single miss on a 136. Double 8.
Game in 2.
14 darter for Burness. And I have to say, he's played well the last couple of days, but tonight he has played his best day of the week. Great timing from Iron Man from Northern Ireland. Former stablemates, of course, these two. I do believe that Bertie is still with that management.
60.
Kevin no longer. So presumably at the moment he is an independent dart player without representation.
140.
I know that wasn't an advertisement.
85.
Based on the performances he's put in this week, I think his confidence is going to be through the roof before he plays in Group A next week.
140.
It will be the first time, of course, that a weekly champion would return the following week. He will be up against Beveridge, Greg Ritchie, Jamie Clark, Dave Pauletti and Cameron Menzies.
59.
Just to recap who we've got coming in for the morning sessions on Thursday and Friday. That's Barry Bates, Mike Gillett, Conan Whitehead, and then Thursday and Friday night it's Alan Norris, Richie Burnett and Nathan Gervin.
42.
He's keeping the spotter guessing, and this is just what he does. He's a bit Dave Pallett-like when it comes to the finishes. He doesn't have one way of doing things. He just thinks, I fancy this one, so I'll go this way.
No score.
Well, he's had to bust that. And Burness has a bonus chance at 150. Double 10. Second time of asking.
1.
And gets it in 1 this time as he levels this one up at 1-all. We're down to a best of 5. We don't know how it's going to go, but Kevin Burness, I'm sure, will get a bit edgier as we get towards the end of this one. He'd only be human if that happened. But I think one of the things that he will like about this game is the pace of the game. Like I say, they have played each other before
137.
in the last couple of days, so this is the third day in a row they played each other. It was a Burness win by 4-3 in the first match of Thursday.
140.
And then the last game of yesterday, it was 4-2 to Burton, which saw him top the table yesterday, just for yesterday.
58.
But the overall table in Group B was topped by Burness.
Uh, 82.
Is there another twist in the tail tonight? I really hope you've enjoyed this coverage and the games this evening. They have been excellent.
96.
I think the evening sessions this week have stolen the show a little bit. Some of the 180 hitting and some of the finishing has been exemplary.
140.
Well, if you missed the preview show with Phil Bars on the Online Darts YouTube channel at around 6 o'clock
28.
British time, I said that my player of the week is Bradley Kirk. Judging by the way he stuck to his task this week and did himself a lot of credit by the end of the week. It's not just the winners and the point getters that
125.
stand out. I go for the people that really make an impression. Speaking of making an impression, tops for Burness.
Came in 2.
That is a big impression. He is halfway to winning this title this week for week 4. And Burness has been the better player just about in this game. How will it progress in leg 4?
$84.
140.
59.
Just had a tweet from someone called Matty saying Martin Adams is a player I'd like to see on the PDC Tour.
45.
Well, that's been a popular opinion for the last 20 years. One of the things that we talked about earlier in the week
38.
is that Martin Adams does actually have PDC title. That's how he got into the World Match Play in the World Grand Prix about 20 years ago.
180.
And he did really well in those tournaments as well. We'll save that chatter for another time because we need to pay full respect to the position of Kevin Burness here. He is inching towards a perfect night. A single 16
96.
to leave tops for a 3-1 lead, providing Stephen does not Shanghai here.
Game in 3.
But he does. Oh, that's really going to hurt Burness. That 120 was classy. It had Stephen Burton written all over it. I've played him before. This is what he does. He's a spoiler. Can he spoil any more? Don't forget pride in this match as well. Pride plays its part.
100.
Stephen Burton has worked hard this week in Group B to get through and get through to these finals. He doesn't want to work really hard on his game prior to his games tonight and during the games and come away with no points. This is his final opportunity to get a win.
100.
If that's to the detriment of Kevin Burness, he will not care. He just wants to get a win.
45.
You don't want to go from top of the table one day to bottom of the table the next. That's what Keelan Kay did from Monday to Tuesday.
100.
He went from 8 points to 0 points within 24 hours. So don't underestimate just how much
60.
Stephen Burton really just wants to get off the mark.
$105.
Very sensible leave. Eliminating the 3-dart outshot.
58.
Making it the 2-darter. And he's in command, potentially after 5 legs. Treble 16's an option. I think that's a mistake. Only do double-double when you need to. He didn't need to. He's actually cost himself a dart at a double now. And it might be key. It won't matter if he hits it. And he cost himself a shot at double by going double-double and missing the board. If Stephen Burton hits this, it would hurt. But luckily, Kevin
46.
sees him miss, and he goes back for tops
Game in 2.
and finds it in 2. It's a 20 dart hold of throw, and he is now within 1 leg of finishing proceedings in this group. Stephen Burton has 2 legs left at best in this week's Online Darts Live League. Might as well give everything you've got to try and get your first win of the night.
97.
What would you do if you were in Kevin's position here?
140.
You'd probably do that. That's a very good start.
$43.
Stealing the darts after 3 is a perfect scenario.
58.
I'll be very interested to see where he goes with his first start on 303. Stephen
100.
would go for 19s. Kevin does not.
100.
On 3 occasions tonight, we have seen Kevin tactically do the wrong thing. Actually, I'm going to say 4 because that double attempt in the last leg was not tactically sound.
$97.
But overall, when he has made mistakes, he's not being punished by his opponent. That's not his fault.
96.
This 106 checkout is to win this week. And he gets 1 dart for it. And that's all he needs. Kevin Burness is your week 4 champion. And he has done it by not losing a single game. The first time he's done it this week, he's got 8 points on Thursday, 8 points yesterday. But today, only playing 4 games, 4 wins from 4. And he is the week 4 champion. Martin Adams and Darren Beveridge, who will finish tonight's action, can't catch him. Game number 10 and game number 105 of the week. It will be our final match of week 4. We held out a little bit of hope that this game would finish the week as far as the weekly title is concerned, but unfortunately for these two, they can no longer catch the Saturday perfect or somewhat Sunday morning perfect performances of Kevin Burness. What we do now know about this match is that it is a shootout for second place. The league positions will be finalised in a matter of around 10 minutes. So Burness, number 1. Wolfie or Beveridge in spots 2 and 3. You will have Greg Ritchie in spot number 4. And Stephen Burton will be rooted to the bottom of the table this evening, or indeed this morning, after 4 losses from 4 matches. It's been a great night starts with some excellent displays.
70.
But ultimately, Kevin Burness was playing well, and every time he got his opportunities, he took them.
44.
Beveridge, a 28-year-old from Edinburgh. So if you subtract his age from Wolfie's age,
100.
I believe you get 36. So Wolfie was 36 years of age when Darren was born in 1993. And Martin was already playing Lakesides back in 1993. At least I believe he was. When did he play his first one? I can hear the pitter-patter of smartphone keyboards about to tell me.
$60.
I know he played his first World Masters back in 1990, where he made the last 32.
$140.
Maybe his first World Championship was 1994. So I think I might be a year out. So Darren was 1 when Martin was already playing at Lakeside. Isn't that brilliant?
Oh, that's different.
That was an interesting reaction from Martin.
24.
Gave it the old nana there when the tea's a bit hot. Ooh! I get the feeling that maybe
100.
that defeat for Darren Beveridge against Kevin Burness was the big victory of the night for Kevin. Double 12 for Wolfie. No pressure,
No score.
but maybe he needed a little bit of pressure to get it. 139 possibly.
139.
Well, I wouldn't have blamed him if he'd have gone for a 177 there to leave himself on double 1. 2 12s. Heck of a guide.
Game in 2.
And he used it to perfection as he gets the first leg here. There's a chasm between the experience of these two and a chasm between the amount of titles they've got. But I hope we have Wolfie back after this. We will definitely get Beveridge back next week as he has a second crack at a weekly title. He's going to cause all sorts of problems for the people in Group A, in my opinion. Especially
44.
as he will have 3 days of experience here at the Online Darts Live League in the bank before he starts on Monday morning.
$100.
$140.
He's got a very good scoring prowess, has Darren Beveridge. He's been getting a really good rate of 180s. Got 12 before tonight,
85.
with 3 days of darts and 5 matches a day in Group A. What could he possibly do next week?
140.
I think if you're having a flutter next week, he's a solid bet for the Group A winner, in my opinion. And it's going to be all sorts of crackers when you put Cameron Menzies in there too.
135.
Meaning that with Beveridge, Ritchie, Jamie Clark and Menzies, 2/3 of the playing staff between Monday and Wednesday are Scottish. You'll have Dave Parletti in there, who had a taste of it this week, and the now crowned Week 4 champion Kevin Burness will try to go back to back.
140.
118 to stop Martin from getting a chance at that 41 that he's left. Did have the option of treble 16 for bull there and didn't use it. So Martin looking at 9 for double 16. Second time he's hit that 9 just on the inside wire of the double this evening. But that's a beautiful dart. Just glanced off that barrel. Just from that camera angle, you think that it's a blocker. From where he stands on the oche, it is a guide. So he just glides it over the top and in she goes. I said there was a bit of a chasm between the experience. Now, I don't have the confirmed figures in front of me. I'm just trying to give you a ballpark figure at this early stage on Sunday morning.
60.
But Darren Beveridge has one recognised title, which is a challenge to a title from a couple of years ago. And of course, that's a secondary tier title. As far as top tier titles are concerned, BDO titles, WDF titles, PDC titles, Martin has 63.
85.
So there you have the chasm between the two. But Darren's career is only just beginning.
81.
And so far, I like what I see. And I think Martin would agree. If Darren goes on to do half of what
125.
Martin has done, he will be more than satisfied, I would say. Going back to something I was saying earlier in the week as well, somewhat speculatively, I still want to know who is the rightful owner of that Lakeside trophy. I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but I said earlier in the week it would be a wonderful gesture
76.
for the BDO to give it to Martin. The first person, well, not the first person, but I think because of the legacy of his BDO days and winning 3 of those titles, I think he should get it. Maybe Glenn Durant, maybe even Raymond van Barneveld. I personally think that trophy belongs in a cabinet with a player. Not just sitting away somewhere doing nothing. I'm not going to get all soapboxy right now and give you my opinion. Well, I may just have just done that, but Adams is looking for 3 legs here. Getting very close.
Gaining 3.
Close enough. 3-0. And maybe Darren Beveridge's charge has stopped here in the knowledge that he cannot any longer win tonight's title. Martin Adams is looking to solidify second spot for the second time in 4 weeks. In week 1, he had the same amount of points as Scott Marsh, but lost out on leg difference. From this position, you would expect Martin to get second spot again. That was a great night, that first finals night, a few weeks ago. Scott was first, Martin was second. Jared Cole came third, Aaron Monk fourth, and Jason Askew as well, who that night set a new live league record average of 118, which still hasn't been beaten.
60.
Next Saturday night, there will be more finals action, but of course during the day on Saturday, you can watch some more darts, some modern amateur darts. There will be 4 title defences next Saturday,
100.
one of which is for the World Modern Amateur Darts title between Wayne Warren and Jared Cole. For more information, look at the Modern Amateur Darts Twitter page and their website. There will be a defence of the Welsh title as well. Jamie Lewis will challenge Jim Williams. Ricky King will challenge for the English title against Daryl Fitton. And one of the regional titles will be on the line as well, as Richard North challenges for one of the regionals against Rob Collins. Off the top of my head, I do believe that Darren Beveridge holds a Modern Amateur Darts title, which at some point he will have to defend.
$44.
Bit of a slack visit there, and it just a lack of energy in that. Can Martin take full advantage? Looking to finish the night with a 4-0 victory potentially. Might just do so. First tour finish.
$100.
Darren has the more favourable of the two finishers left here. Can he finish with a bang? Gave it a chance. Well, there's 120 of them. Are we going to get more legs in this match, or is this going to be it? It's up to Darren, who finds tops to keep it going. He does get his first leg of the match. A somewhat ironic celebration there from Ice Cold. It has been a bit cold for him in this match so far, but he doesn't allow the Wolf to get any match darts. Well, just to give everybody a bit of a giggle, this morning I was going out for breakfast, and sometimes when I go for a bit of a walk in the fresh air, I tend to set my
46.
music app to random and just see what comes up. And the first song that was played this morning was Cry Wolf by Aha. And I did think to myself, what a great walk-on song that would have been for Martin Adams had he not chosen Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran. There's been many a song written about wolves.
140.
Of Wolf and Man by Metallica, of course. So he had plenty of songs to choose from. But I think based on the popularity of the man, he probably chose the right one. Back in the maximum column is Darren Beveridge. That was his first of the contest. And hitting that double to be 3-1 down, that was his first shot at a double in the match.
60.
Does Martin put a big hole in this to give himself the opportunity of finishing the contest off? I was asked a very good question by somebody yesterday as well, and it was, why do dart players play from 501? I didn't actually have the answer. Does Beveridge have the answer? Oh, so close to getting a 161. 90 points. Ooh, bull tops. Double 10. First match dart. And the only one he requires. A really classy display from Martin Adams to get his 6th point of the finals. And for the second time in 4 weeks, the Wolf finishes his campaign in 2nd place in the table. So congratulations to Martin for getting 2nd spot over Darren Beveridge, who finishes in 3rd. It is Kevin Burness, Iron Man, who completes the task this week in 1st spot. He will return with Darren Beveridge and, of course, Greg Ritchie and there will be others on Monday morning. So in around 36 hours time, join Chris Mason with the Online Darts Live League for more action. I'm signing out for now. I will be back a week on Monday. I will see you then. Have a pleasant weekend. Stay safe. And I will see you on the morrow, young Galahads.